So for this final part of the garden plan, I have one more tool that I want to share with you. We're back here at Seedtime, and as you can see, there are many different tasks that need to be done. So as we move throughout all these different crops, there's all these different tasks, and it can seem very overwhelming. You know, how am I going to know what tasks need to be done and when they need to be done? Which tasks have I already done and what still needs to happen? With a plan that's this large, this can really seem pretty overwhelming. So fortunately, Seedtime has another tool called the task list. So if we come over here to the task list, this is broken down in weekly increments. That's how I have it set up here. And right now we're in the second week of February, and we already have a new task here that we need to start some onion seeds indoors. Now, we're pretty early in the season. There isn't a whole lot to do, just this one task. So let's move ahead. Let's pretend that we are in this week of April here. So if we click here in this week of April, you see there's all these overdue tasks. So these all should have been check marked by now. So let's zip this up. But it is good to know that your overdue tasks are all kind of highlighted like this. And here is, for this week, we have all of these different chores that need to be done. So we have a whole week to get this whole task list knocked out. But even with this, it can still look pretty overwhelming. It looks like, wow, there's a lot to do here. How am I going to get this all done? And what we can do is just kind of filter it out a bit. So let's filter everything out except for the seeding. And now we have just a much nicer list to look at. We can see we have a little bit of direct seeding to do directly into the ground. But then a lot of this is seeding things indoors. So if we just look at this list, if I go downstairs to start seeding indoors, I know that I just need to seed some broccoli, lettuce, tomatillo, tomatoes, some cabbage, both different kinds of cabbage. And then that's it. So in just going down and starting these indoors, that would probably take me like maybe a half an hour at the most. And then going out into the garden and direct seeding, that may take another, 20 minutes or so. So for less than an hour, I could get all of this knocked out. And then maybe there's some bed preparation that needs to happen. I could go out into the garden and maybe spend another hour to work up these different areas in the garden. You remember, these are just small little areas here. So there's not really a whole lot to do, but just kind of knock out these little areas where I amend the soil with the types of amendments that need to go in those different areas. That's all part of the bed preparation. Again, that might take maybe an hour at the most. So now we're up to what, maybe 2 hours worth? Doing a little transplanting, that doesn't take very long either. So for maybe, let's say 3 or 4 hours at the most, we'll be able to get all of this done. And we have a whole week to do it. So we could do a little bit every evening to get these things done, or maybe on the weekend, just take 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday and get all of this done. So this tool is really great at breaking down the different weeks, to kind of see what needs to happen week after week, and put it in kind of a concise list for us. Well, hopefully this tool shows that if we break it down week by week and the different types of tasks, that it breaks it down so that it doesn't need to be so overwhelming. We can really get all this done. Okay, so that's about it for the garden plan. You can see that I built this as resilient as possible because not everything is going to work out. We're going to have some failures along the way, but there's enough here that even with one thing failing here or there, we have enough behind it that we're going to get a lot of success out of this as well. So I really look forward to continuing the rest of the season here and bringing you along as we work through this plan, and I hope to see you in future videos. Okay, we'll see you soon.